Hello there, welcome back to my channel. This time it's the turn of the comparisons for BRICKHEADZ. Obviously, like I said in my last video, BRICKHEADZ, you can basically compare, any singular BRICKHEAD for another singular BRICKHEAD, but there is differences. Obviously, if there's a Star Wars or a Lord of the Rings or something like that, it's going to make more than, say for instance, the two cats or two dogs or something like that, but basically, if you look at one set, you can probably guess what's going to happen with the other ones, if you know what I mean. So any of them could really be a comparison. So the ones that I picked, it could be any of them really. So like I say, this is just for information purposes anyway. So this is, just in case you haven't seen my other videos, I'm comparing past sets that have already retired with sets that are retiring in 2025 to try and give you an idea if there's something similar or the same that you can compare it to give you an idea whether it's going to be a good investment for you for 2025 or not. Right, so this is BRICKHEADZ. Obviously there's not many BRICKHEADZ, and I couldn't compare every single BRICKHEAD because some of them there's just nothing that's the same. So right, so the first one is, if it retires, because you've been playing around with this one, 40547, the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, 1799. Now I've got three comparisons for this one. The first one is 41619, which is the Darth Vader just on its own. That retired in 2019. That was £10 to buy, and now it's valued at around £32. But obviously, like I said in my other videos, 32, you should be able to get way over that, but the 32 is like a conservative amount once you've paid your fees and that kind of thing. So like I say, hopefully you should make more than that. If you look on Amazon and Camel 3X, I couldn't find any for sale at the moment. That particular set sold 5,504 sets. Next comparison is 41627, that also retired in 2019. That was £15 to buy, and that was the Luke and Yoda double pack. At the moment it's valued at around £58, but if you go on Amazon there's somebody selling it for £165. Now I've been doing a lot of research on Amazon for what people are charging, and there's one particular, I'm sure it's the same person, seems to put £165 for everything, and I think he's hoping that eventually the prices go up to there. But anyway, that's what it's for at the moment. If you're looking at Amazon, the cheapest one's £165. It's the only one. That one sold 4,402 sets. And the last comparison is 66591, which retired in 2020. That was £15.79, and that was a 2-in-1 Han Solo and Chewbacca. Basically what they've done is they've just got two single sets, the single Han Solo and the single Chewbacca, and put them in a box, so you buy 2-in-1, which is, I don't know, anyway. So that one was £15.79 to buy originally, and now worth around £125, and that's the value that it roughly is now. If you go on Amazon or Camel 3X, there's none for sale, so they've already all been sold. And that one sold 776 sets. Now there is one thing with the BRICKHEADZ. If you do search for BRICKHEADZ, there is quite a lot of them that come up for £300, £400, £500, anything up to £800, maybe even £1,000. But they're the Comic-Con special ones, that if you had to go to the Comic-Con to actually buy those ones, and there's only a limited amount of those ones. But if you're lucky enough to have one, then the value of those is just ridiculous compared to a normal set. Anyway, the next one is 40668, Captain America and Red Hulk, 1799. There's three comparisons for that one again. First one is 41589, that's Captain America just on his own. That retired in 2017. That was £10 to buy. Now it's worth around £40. That was given a good investment classification, and if you look on Amazon, it's selling for up to £168. And that one sold 4,601 sets. Next one is 41592. That also retired in 2017. That was £10 to buy as well, and that's the Hulk. That one is valued at around £25 at the moment. But if you go on Amazon, there's people selling it for up to £106, and that one sold 4,039 sets. And the last comparison is 41626, which retired in 2019. That was £15 to buy, and it's the Groot and Rocket set. and that's worth around £48 now. If you go on Amazon, it's valued, or it's being sold for up to £165. That one's sold 2,614 sets. Next one is 40669 Iron Man Mark V, $9.99. Now there's two comparisons for that one. The first one is 41604, which is the Iron Man Mark 50, and that one retired in 2018. That was £10 to buy. Now it's worth around £31. That was given a good investment classification, and if you go on Amazon, got it right that time, it's up to £165. That one sold 3,295 sets. Next comparison is 41590. That retired in 2017. That's the Iron Man just on its own. That was £10 to buy, now valued at around £33. That was also given a good investment. If you go on Amazon, it's been sold for up to £153, and that one sold 4,722 sets. Next one is 40670, the Iron Spider-Man, which is $9.99. Now that one, I've compared it with the one that I've just given you the details for, the 41604. Obviously, because it's the Iron Spider-Man, then you've got the Iron Man. It's very similar, so there's no point giving you all the details. I've just given you them now. And also, the next set is 40671, the Potted Groot. Because I've given you the details of the Groot and Rocket, there's no point going through that again as well. So the comparison will be the 41626, which is the Groot and Rocket. So the next set is 40675, Clone Commander Cody, which is $9.99. It's the one that a lot of people will be interested in. The first comparison is 41486, which is Captain Phasma. That one retired in 2018. That was £10 to buy, but now it's worth around £47. And that was given a good investment. If you go on Amazon, they're selling it for up to £174, and that set sold 3,085 sets. Next comparison is 41620, which is the Stormtrooper, and that one retired in 2019. That was £10 to buy, now valued at around £42, and that was also given a good investment classification. If you go on Amazon, they're selling it for up to £166, and that one sold 4,936 sets. Next one is 40748, the one that people are kind of a bit divided about, the Batman 8-in-1, which is $24.99. There's only really one to compare that to. There is another one, the 85th anniversary, but that hasn't retired yet. So the only one to compare it to really is the Batman, which is 41585. That retired in 2017. That was £10 to buy, and it's now worth around £39. That was given a good investment classification, and if you go on Amazon, it's for sale for up to £102, and that one sold 5,692 sets. Next one is 40749, the Joy, Sadness and Anxiety, which is $17.99. This one was a bit difficult to compare because there's not many that are threes, or if they are threes, it's, you know, it's difficult, and it's also not from the same movie or whatever it is, you know. So I kind of picked one. It's four in a set, but anyway, it's the Disney 100 Celebrations, basically because it's as close as I could get to it, really. That one is 40622. That retired in 2024. It was £40 to buy, and at the moment it's only valued at around £27. I'm not saying that the Joy, Sadness, Anxiety will lose money, but it's more of an unknown, if you know what I mean. So that's lost roughly 31%. If you go on Amazon, there's people selling it for up to £50, so they're only making £10 on it anyway. And that one sold 19,903 sets. And that's the thing with that one there, the Disney 100. When that came out and I was watching the videos, everybody was saying, oh, this is going to be a good investment, this is going to be a good investment, blah, 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 blah. I think the only people that are actually trying to make any money out of that one is the ones that are splitting it and just selling it individually in the boxes, you know, like in the bag, should I say, and they might make a couple of quid each one, and that's all. So the next one is 40792 Dumbo, which is $9.99. The one I've compared that one to is 40673, which is a festive Mickey Mouse. That was £10 to buy, and at the moment it's valued at around £15. That was classed as a good investment, and if you go on Amazon, there's people selling it for up to £30. And that set sold 7,666 sets. Next one, and the last one for the BRICKHEADZ, is 40793 Tom and Jerry. That was $13.49. The comparison for that one is 40378, which is Goofy and Pluto. That retired in 2024. That was also $13.49. At the moment it's worth around £20. That was given a very good investment classification. If you go on Amazon, there's people selling it for up to £60, and that one sold 20,262 sets. So that's quite a lot of sets. Now I'm almost coming to the end now of going through all of the sets to compare with you know, what's retiring in 2025. So what I'm thinking about doing, or what I'm starting to research doing now, is once I got to the end, going back to the beginning, and what I'm going to actually do is the sets that are coming out this year. There's quite a lot of sets coming out. I mean, the ones that are coming out, you know, soon. There's 130 sets or something like that. So what I thought about doing is looking at the ones that are coming out, and then seeing the ones that could go with those, or could be kind of like sold together in a bundle or that kind of thing, to see whether there's something that we can look at, so that you can think, right, well, the ones that are retiring this year, if I buy that one, it will go with the ones that are coming in 2026, 2027, that kind of thing like that. What made me think about it is basically, you can't really see behind me, but I have 7 of these. I did have 8 and I sold one, but I've got another 7, and I've actually kept these because they've been quietly gaining in money. If you go on eBay and things like that at the moment, they're going for anything up to like £170, that kind of thing. And if you go on Amazon, they're going for more. So I was looking at the information, and obviously you've got the 2 R2-D2s that have already gone, and you've got the Droideka that's coming out. So thinking the people in the future, there's the 75416, the chopper astromech droid, or there's a 75434, the K2SO security droid, and then the 75428, the battle droid with the STAP. So if somebody in the future decides that they're going to buy, say, the astromech or the security droid or whatever like that, they might want to buy the other droid and then get the other droid, and then they're going to have to go back and get the other droids. So obviously they're going to need the BD1, the R2, and all that kind of thing, the Droideka. So some of these sets might be a good idea to get hold of, and then obviously keep hold and wait for these other ones to retire. And then, like I say, in the future there could be people who want to buy those as well, and then go, oh, I need the other ones, I'm going to have to try and buy them. So there you go. It's a tip for you. But basically I thought, well, like I say, I've got 7 of them. I'm going to hold on to mine until like some of these retire, and you could always try and, you know, people on Amazon like to bundle things up, you know, get the chopper and the BD1, put them together in a bundle and whatever, or it's up to you. You know, you do, you've got your own systems or whatever you want to do. But yeah, so what I thought about doing is, once I've got to the end, go back and try and look to see whether there's anything that will go with or complement or whatever like that. So then I'll try and go back to the beginning and see if I can have a look and see if there's anything that will go with it. I don't know whether I'll be able to make enough information to do 1 video, 2 videos or not. I'll have to see. I'm still researching it at the moment, so because, like I say, there's 130 sets coming out, so we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, my next video will be Minecraft, so I will see you then. Please like, comment and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.